This is Audible Grown with Paul Brunell and Stephen Carroll, the pop culture podcast covering sports, movies, and everything in between. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to the first episode of Audible Grown. I am Stephen with my best friend Paul. How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing good. I'm ready. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. We got a lot of stuff to talk about right away. We're going to talk some movies, some wrestling, some general pop culture. But what do you want to introduce about us?
What this podcast is, it's just going to be Paul and I talking about everything from sports to movies, to music, to comic, whatever comes to mind.
Yeah, so we're probably going to start with movies. And we both saw a movie on Friday. Do you want to introduce what that movie is? And then I guess we'll kind of give our thoughts on it.
It's Disney's remake of The Lion King.
Yep. So Disney's been on kind of the track where they're relying a lot on nostalgia for their film slate, and they've been putting out a lot of remakes lately. And we just got Jon Favreau's The Lion King coming right off the heels of The Jungle Book, which came out in 2016, I believe.
Yes.
But this is directed by Jon Favreau. You have James Earl Jones returning as Mufasa. You have Donald Glover. You have Beyonce as Nala. Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen as Timon and Pumbaa. Mm-hmm. So you got a whole new cast, a beautiful photorealistic graphics, which is really, really groundbreaking in its technology.
The scenery in the movie, unbelievable.
It's amazing. So we both saw it on the same day, but we waited to give our thoughts until now.
Yes.
So what do you want to tell me about this movie? What are you thinking?
I thought the music was good. I didn't think it was better than the original, but I'm a little biased toward all those original Disney movies, because like you, I grew up on those. Mm-hmm. So, and like I said, the scenery fantastic. The only problem for me was the fact that it's like real animals, and they can't really show expression.
Yeah, that's kind of been a concern from the very beginning, is the fact that you have animals that look like they just came out of a zoo, completely realistic. But you have voice actors who are emoting with their voices 100% onto a face that looks like a real animal talking. And so what you're getting is someone that sounds like they're acting, but a face that doesn't look like it's acting, because it really can't.
Yeah. Do you think that's hard to do as an actor when you know, like, visually on the person seeing the movie is not gonna be able to see that emotion?
There's gonna be a weird disconnect, I think. There's a phrase, the uncanny valley, where it sounds just human enough, but it looks a little weirder. But I really don't feel like, as an experience, that really took away from it too much, just for the fact that they're banking on nostalgia, and you have a cast who really brings it home, who does a great job. Billy Eichner is taking over for Nathan Lane as Timon, and he just knocks it out of the park. And so overall, it was an amazing experience. I think there are a couple times where Favreau could have done a little better, but overall, the theater applauded at the end, and a lot of parents who I imagine saw the movie 25 years ago are bringing their kids. And so in a way, it really is the circle of life.
And really, it is. It's like two generations coming together, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if I think even the harshest critic of the remakes can at least agree that movies bring people together, and that's what they're doing. And the music was amazing too, because you get the same exact composer, and you get Elton John composing a brand new song for the end credits. I don't know if you picked that up.
Right. I did pick it up. I didn't realize it was brand new at the time, but I found out later, and it's really a good song.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I saw an IMAX for myself. I think you saw it at Cinema World in Lincoln.
Yes.
We're based out of Rhode Island, if anyone's wondering.
Yes.
But we saw it in separate theaters, but I think we pretty much had a very similar experience as far as the movie goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, you go.
It's still not my favorite Disney remake so far, though.
What are you thinking, Aladdin?
I still love Aladdin.
Yeah, me too. Well, the question is, how far can Disney go with remakes until fans really are like, I'm sick of this, I want something original?
Like, for people that don't know, the Jungle Book is my favorite Disney movie of all time. So I think that was like either the first or second remake that Disney did. And I went to see that in theaters, and I had such high expectations because it was my favorite Disney movie as a kid, and I walked out so disappointed because it was so drastically different.
Right.
So because of that, I didn't go see Beauty and the Beast, but I did finally give Aladdin a chance, and I'm so glad I did.
You got to watch Dumbo though too. I think
Yeah,
you really like it. I really do.
Dumbo too.
Yeah, you should check it out. That's Tim Burton. You know, he brings his little signature darkness to it, but it's not too intense. But do you want to transition topics?
Yeah, sure.
For those of you who have been living under a rock, the Marvel Cinematic Universe concluded a 23-movie slate called the Infinity Saga. It started in 2008, it ended in 2019, and the latest film to come out of that is Spider-Man Far From Home, which we're going to talk a little bit about here.
Years.
Yeah, a very, very long time. So what do you think of Spider-Man? As someone who's been following the MCU.
Well, I should say, only you, who I think was following the MCU from the very beginning. I myself just got into it about 2 years ago.
It's never too late.
So I'm a little behind, like I haven't seen all the movies yet. But I thought Spider-Man Homecoming was fantastic. Tom Holland amazing as Spider-Man, and I thought Far From Home was even better.
Yeah, he did a great job. So I guess maybe we'll give a quick spoiler warning. If you haven't seen Far From Home yet, it's in theaters now, so go see it. I'll talk a little bit about spoilers here, so this is your fair warning.
I highly recommend this movie if you haven't had to see it.
Yeah, I would see it. But if you've seen from the trailers, Spider-Man Far From Home talks about Peter as he goes on a field trip after the events of Endgame. He's lost his mentor, Tony Stark, and he wants to kind of de-stress, so he goes on a field trip, but little does he know is a character by the name of Quentin Beck, who is Mysterio, has followed him.
Yes.
And the marketing's very interesting because it paints him as a good guy, but then the big reveal in the second act of the movie is that he's actually a villain.
Yeah.
And he's been burnt by Tony Stark from the very beginning, and he wants to be the next big superhero.
And they actually have a few flashbacks within the movie that give you sort of the back storyline. Beck is now a villain in the movie.
Yep. And Jake Gyllenhaal did an amazing job.
Yeah.
I think everyone brought it. They had amazing character development, amazing fight scenes. And Jon Favreau, who directed The Lion King, actually plays Happy Hogan in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
So he has some really great scenes there. And if you don't know, that is the end of Phase 3.
Yeah. And Marvel announced Phase 4.
Phase 4. Yep. So do you know anything about the announced movies that are coming after Spider-Man?
I remember, I think there's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. There's going to be a Black Panther 2, I believe.
I'm guessing.
I didn't hear much beyond that.
So Comic-Con, Marvel has its huge event. Everyone's waiting. They have a crowd of over 6,000 people. And Kevin Feige comes out, and he actually announced that night that, first of all, Endgame has beat Avatar at the box office.
Yeah.
To be the highest grossing movie of all time. It took away the 10-year reign of Avatar. We talk about this, right? But then you find out that Avatar is also owned by Disney, so they kind of beat themselves.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
So I don't know why you would try so hard
I don't know.
to beat yourself.
I don't know. It's kind of funny. But so what they've done is they've announced the next slate of Marvel films running for two years. That's Phase 4. And so you're getting 5 TV shows and 5 movies, believe it or not. 2021, just 2 years.
Oh, 2021.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. But you got Black Widow. You got the Eternals. You got a Disney Plus TV show, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and that's just for next year, 2021. Kevin Feige announced 7 projects. I'm going to try to remember them all off the top of my head, but you have a new Doctor Strange movie. You have a show about Wanda and Vision.
Yeah.
You have a show about Hawkeye. You have a show about Loki. You have a new Thor film where Natalie Portman is becoming a female Thor, which I think no one expected. But real quick before we move on, what do you feel like? Do you feel like Marvel can keep its quality going forward?
I mean, I hope so, because I haven't seen a bad Marvel movie yet, but I draw.
Clearly, you haven't seen Thor 2.
I seen Thor 2.
Oh, you do? You don't like it?
It was better than I thought it was, but it wasn't the best Marvel movie.
Pretty much everyone who worked in that movie was like, I never want to work with Marvel again. Please take me away from this prison.
Wow. Okay. I missed something there. Okay.
It was bad.
I worry about the same thing with Marvel that I do with WWE in a way.
It's a good transition.
Because the overexposure factor, I feel like if you put too much content out there, like I don't think it's possible for like people to consume all the content.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So you kind of have to like pick and choose what you want to watch, because there's so much of it you can't possibly fit everything.
Unless you're like me and you feel like you have to see everything and you're a glutton for having no bank account.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to see everything in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm starting to worry that it might be just a little too overexposed.
We'll find out. But you actually have this excellent section here about wrestling in the WWE. You have a few questions that you put together. I know we've talked about this before we started the podcast, but with as few words as possible, Stephen, tell us how you feel about the current state of wrestling. If anyone here watches wrestling, I'm sure you'll agree with what he's about to say.
I will preface this by saying I have been watching pro wrestling for 11 years now, so I've developed a really passionate opinion when it comes to WWE, and right now, let me to say it's a very down period for the WWE, and that's me playing it as nicely as I possibly can.
I appreciate your restraint.
Yeah.
Well, this is coming from someone who doesn't have the patience to stick with it like you do. I haven't watched it in a long time. But what I see, and this is in no way bashing the company, but this is just hearing the reports that are coming out about the, poor health care and the writing not kind of being subpar.
That John Oliver,
Yeah. Well, I didn't hear about that, actually.
Really helped them. Like, you know how John Oliver does his show, I think it's on HBO or something like that.
And John Oliver is the voice of Zazu in the new Lion King, by the way. So there's connections everywhere.
Yeah, so I won't go into like really detail, but you have mentioned the lack of health care in WWE, and what John Oliver did was basically like tell-all, so he revealed a lot of behind-the-scenes secrets that people in the company probably would prefer not to have out there.
Oh boy.
So if you are,
that's gotta be harsh.
If you're a WWE fan and you want it to like hear like the state of the company, then go try and find it and watch it. But if you just wanna stay enjoying wrestling like you normally would, then I would stay away from it.
And you, so what are you thinking about the rise of AEW then as a major competition?
Like, hopefully it will wake WWE up and say, not only do we have some competition now, but they're stealing our talent from us. Like Chris Jericho in AEW, Ty Dillinger is, there's a lot of people. Dean Ambrose is now in
John Moxley
AEW.
Yeah.
John Moxley.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of WWE guys that have made the switch over.
Wow. Some really, really major competition. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, we have Vince McMahon launching his failed football league, which I believe he did once in the 90s? And it failed miserably.
2001.
Yeah, close.
And then it lasted one season, though.
Oh boy.
So we'll see if he can get back.
I will say if his injury and health insurance and all that stuff is not going so good in the WWE, how's it going to go in a football league?
I don't know.
all the concussions and the protocols and
not exactly Vince's forte. I don't know.
that doesn't sound like it.
And the thing about wrestlers is they're supposed to be independent contractors, but they're under multi-year contract with these companies, so they're not really independent contractors because they're just stuck working for one company. So,
Man. So you rely on the company that you might not agree with to pay your bills.
yeah.
And you're busy all the time. Constantly. Traveling.
Just as Dean Amber / John Moxley what he thinks of WWE. It's not gonna be good, I'll tell you that.
I believe it. So you have a few questions here. This is really awesome. So I guess what do you want to do? You want to maybe just go through each one and kind of give a quick thoughts on them?
Sure.
So who is your favorite wrestler? Who is your favorite wrestler? Because I don't even think I know who your favorite wrestler is, and we've been friends for like 5 years now.
I feel like it changes, like, more often than not. I'm trying to think of someone outside WWE because I've been watching a ton of wrestling other than the WWE, but I really like Dean Amber / John Moxley. Now that I've seen a few of his matches outside of WWE. But if you're talking strictly WWE, yes, I'm gonna have to say Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels is nice. So, when I was watching, I was kind of really watching for the spectacle, and Dean Ambrose was my favorite wrestler at the time for this particular reason. This is what solidified it for me, is we're watching Monday Night Raw, and Dean Ambrose says that he's going to go to Coney Island.
Yeah, they were in New York. I remember.
You remember that? So he's like, I want to go to Coney Island, and so he's gone for like half an hour, and then he comes back with a hot dog cart. And his face is covered in mustard and ketchup.
Yeah.
And he takes the hot dog cart and rams it into one of the wrestlers while eating a hot dog. That was the moment I knew that Dean Ambrose was my favorite wrestler. I haven't had a chance to watch him in AEW yet, though.
I will show you a couple of the matches. He's in the G1 for New Japan right now as well, so I get plenty of matches for you to pick from. So.
Nice. And if you're listening there and you want to tell us what your favorite wrestler is, I'm sure, once this is on the YouTube channel, leave us a comment or
feel free.
Let us know. We want to have a discussion. But do you have a favorite match? I probably can't really think of something off the top of my head, though, so this is probably something more your question.
It's tough. Because I see so many matches, but I think the one that got me into wrestling was Shawn Michaels and Undertaker from WrestleMania 25, which is crazy because that was 10 years ago now, and The Undertaker still wrestling, so
keyword barely?
Yeah, keyword barely, so.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I don't really know. Favorite match. I remember when Goldberg did that stint recently, a couple of years ago, and he destroyed Brock Lesnar in about 2 moves.
Yeah.
And my whole living room just stood up in ovation and started freaking out.
Yeah, I think I was there for that.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Have you gone to any pro wrestling? I have been to Let's see, a few live events. I've been to a few SmackDowns and a few Raws.
Well, we went.
We've gone a couple times together.
A Raw together.
Yep.
What was it, last October?
Yeah, and that was monumentous because that was when Roman Reigns announced that he was fighting his disease.
Yes.
And then when he came back for SmackDown, he was in Providence.
Yes.
And so that was kind of like full circle. But when was the last time you've been? Was that in October when we went to see Raw?
That's the last time I've been.
Wow.
So
Wow.
It's been a while for me.
What do you think is the reason that Rhode Island... Now, real quick, if you don't know this, they rate their cities on A, B, and C ratings, right? Depending on the crowd.
Yeah.
And Rhode Island, Providence is A.
But it's funny. Providence gets an A rating on the site, but they haven't hosted a pay-per-view here since 2009.
Unfortunately,
kind of weird.
Yeah, a little bit.
If we have a rating, why don't we get pay-per-views?
I wonder if it's the size of the Dunk, 14,000 capacity. I don't know if that's too small.
Maybe.
I know they've had some at TD Garden recently.
Yeah.
But have you been to a pay-per-view? I've never been.
No, it's on my wrestling bucket list.
Yeah. What is your favorite wrestler promotion or company that you like to watch? Would I be safe in assuming it's AEW right now or New Japan?
Right now it's New Japan because of the G1. But it's hard to say about AEW right now because they won't officially be on TV till October, so...
Wow. That's a little while. And remember what we talked about? How that was like the same exact time that the Fox deal, right?
Moving to Fox.
SmackDown's moving to Fox the same month AEW is going televised.
Yeah.
That's like, if that's not a brilliant marketing tactic.
They're both premiering days apart. I think AEW premiering October 2nd on like TNT.
Wow.
And then like 2 days later SmackDown premiering on Fox. So it's gonna be crazy.
TNT stands for totally not terrible like WWE.
Yeah. Totally. But I don't know how many more questions we have.
Just one.
Okay.
Do you have anything to add?
No, I was gonna transition to another topic.
No, go ahead.
But,
Well, I guess, it's just, do you have a favorite tag team? I'd probably go with the New Day just because of how they turned around so quickly.
The pancakes now.
Like, they kind of became like almost like a religious, like a Catholic kind of wrestling team, and they transitioned into this wild and crazy.
I remember they
thing.
were getting booed when they first, were introduced. I don't know what happened, but they all of a sudden got over, so.
Just completely turned around. So, what's on your mind? What were you thinking?
So, I feel like we have to bring this up because it's a big part of both our lives. And I think you know where I'm going at least. I hope you do.
I am so sorry that I cannot guess. Please forgive me. I failed you as a friend.
SpongeBob.
Yes! I am so sorry. Please forgive me. Yes.
SpongeBob.
Yes, for those who don't know, we have grown up with SpongeBob. We were about 7 years old when it premiered.
Yeah.
And the reason that we've grown up with the show, and it's one of like the few things we've taken over into adulthood, is just because of the fact that SpongeBob is also written for adults in the jokes. You watch it again as an adult, and you realize how much stuff they put in that show that they want the parents to understand.
You really appreciate it in a totally different way.
Yeah.
As an adult than you did as a kid.
Yeah, and before you judge us for talking about SpongeBob in our mid-20s...
It's gonna happen a lot.
Yeah, so get over it. No, I'm only kidding.
So
But I really love it because you have a cartoon, Nickelodeon as a company had a lot of hit and misses recently, and you have a cartoon that comes from the 90s and just hit 20 years. And when if you want to get serious about it, you have a cartoon that literally saved lives. I told you about a story of a man who was suicidal and he was struggling with depression. And I don't know if his son was watching SpongeBob, but he started watching SpongeBob, and the sheer optimism and just wackiness of the show started to bring joy into his life. And he actually went on record saying that is the show that saved me from taking my life. So SpongeBob is his optimism and his joy is infectious for everyone, and it legitimately is making a difference in people's lives.
Yeah.
For something to be running that long.
And I will say, like SpongeBob to me, just to get personal for a second, is more than just an animated TV show. For those of you that don't know, I have a disability and have to face like physical challenges every day, and I have a lot of challenges growing up, and I still do. And SpongeBob was that one TV show that always managed to like put a smile on my face. So it's a really huge part of my life.
Yeah, and it's just the fact that it's unceasingly hilarious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, what adults now have done with SpongeBob is, turned it into a meme culture. And Tom Kenny who is the voice of SpongeBob, if you don't know, is totally on board with this. But he was talking about the adult fans and how they've grown up with the show, and how SpongeBob really is a show for everyone because it resonates with people at different levels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It resonated with me just because, like you said, the optimism in that show, like it's difficult having a disability and being in a wheelchair every day. So just the sheer optimism of that show is enough to like keep me going.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then they have the Broadway musical, which has an incredible soundtrack.
I can't wait to go see it.
Yeah,
I know.
Probably in October.
I know we're planning on going maybe a couple times.
Yeah.
They're coming to Boston in
just a few months.
October, and then they'll be at the Providence Performing Arts Center in May, right before the new SpongeBob movie comes out. So.
Yep. In other words, SpongeBob is a cultural icon. I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon.
No.
And you have the comedic stylings of people like Patrick.
Yeah.
I try to do the impression once in a while. It's okay.
I don't have that impression.
It's not that great. I only do it a little bit.
But I don't know.
Where's the leak, ma'am?
I don't know where either of us would be without that show.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's been awesome. Really has.
And we us, we'll be having normal conversation like daily, and we'll randomly throw a quote from the show in there. So.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys have that kind of movie or show that you can quote over and over again, but that's one of the show where SpongeBob is so relevant that you can have a quote for every single situation you're going through.
Yeah, like I say a quote from the show every morning when I wake up.
Yeah, it's absolutely perfect. Yeah. And then there's a third movie coming out May of next year. The show is just renewed for a 13th season.
Yeah.
And this is one of those things where 20 years on, every single voice actor is still around. We did lose Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Oh yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Mermaid Man
Yeah.
and Bionicle
Yeah.
Boy. And before we forget, rest in peace
Yeah.
to Steven Hillenburg. Without that amazing person to create the show, it wouldn't exist. So
Yeah. Yeah.
rest in peace, Steven Hillenburg, and thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully Tom Kenny will come here soon.
Yeah,
Get a chance to meet him.
I want to meet him.
Yeah.
That's a dream of mine.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we have a little bit of time left. Is there anything else you wanted to kind of cover? Video games? Anything at all?
Well, as far as video games, it's like the slow time of year for me right now.
Yeah.
Music too. It's the slow time of year.
You got Taylor Swift at the end of the month, though. End of next month.
End of next
Yeah.
month.
And I got Skillet. I'm listening to Skillet. They're a Christian rock band. They have an album coming out in a couple weeks.
Yes, so.
That'll be good. PlayStation 5 coming out at the end of next year. If you're a gamer and you follow E3, you follow the news, you've probably heard that Xbox has announced their next generation console. PlayStation is working on their next generation console. And we have probably at the beginning of next year the last slate of PS4, the major AAA PS4 games to come out, like the new Watch Dogs and different things like that.
I can't wait for the new Watch Dogs. That's gonna be incredible. You can play as
anyone
character in the whole world.
in all of London. Yeah.
Right.
If you've never played, anyone listening, if you've never played Watch Dogs, in this one, the technology is that you can play as any character in London, and you can literally be a 90-year-old lady, totally decked out as James Bond, hacking the CIA, and working her way through the upper levels to free the people of London.
Play as a grandmother.
You can play as a wise old English grandmother. I'm sorry if I offended people. I apologize.
or you can play as a detective.
Yeah.
Like, there's no limit to the people you can play as.
And I think, overall, this is what's interesting about pop culture is that you have this gigantic landscape of film. You have television and entertainment. You have TV shows. You have video games.
You have sports.
You have sports, too. And you have this giant tapestry that brings people together. People spend money to go to the movies. People spend money to go to sporting events. People spend money on games. But, it's if you look a little deeper than just the surface level entertainment, pop culture is so huge. And I think it's a great idea you've decided to do this podcast because it really does bring people together.
That's why I wanted to do the podcast on sports and pop culture. I originally was only going to do a sports podcast, but there are certain times of the year where there's not a ton of sports going on, and I just felt like if I do sports and pop culture, I'll never run out of them to talk about.
Yeah.
Like that.
Because it's literally news every single day.
It's changing every day.
Every day. You wake up tomorrow and there's a new movie trailer. By the time we do another podcast, there's going to be 3 movie trailers, movie announcements, sporting event news. There's going to be wrestling news, more wrestling events, and there's going to be a whole new array of things to talk about.
And I think we gotta talk about one more thing.
Yeah, sure.
Before we go, just to get a good laugh out of everybody hopefully.
I'm ready.
But the Cats trailer
Don't do this to me.
came out a few days ago.
Yeah, I really apologize. If you like the Cats musical is amazing.
Yeah.
But the new trailer that came out for Cats.
And me and you
Not
watched it the day
Yes.
it came out. I never
Yeah.
laughed so hard in my life.
Again, I apologize because I know Taylor Swift is in it, and you love Taylor.
Yeah.
And
I was like, what are you doing, Taylor? I think you just ruined your
Yeah.
career.
I mean, maybe I'll give it a chance. I think the biggest problem is that they just released it with unfinished CGI, so it looks strange. But I'm just trying to give my opinion in a very respectable way to people who like cats.
They had that close-up of one of the cats, and you could see how bad the CGI
It looked like a pair of lips glued onto a fur rug.
Yeah, it really did. I hope they can at least try and fix it before the movie.
Yeah, I think they will. And again, not to, I know there are people who love cats, but I think most can agree that the trailer might need some work on it before the movie's released.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, they pulled Sonic the Hedgehog.
They did. They pulled it. They pulled Sonic because people didn't like the design.
So,
And they pushed the release like 3 months into 2020, and they're gonna make it better for fans.
and just to go back to the Disney Marvel conversation for a second, for those of you that don't know, Disney streaming service Disney Plus is coming out in November of this year. So if you like Disney like me and Paul do, then definitely it's gonna be worth
Yeah.
the price.
Yeah, I think it's like $12 a month, but it has every Disney movie on it, all new original shows, Star Wars shows, Marvel shows, original movies and cartoons, the entire Disney catalog.
And Star Wars too, so
Yep.
and they got the old director coming back, so the new movie should be better than
Yeah.
The Last Jedi.
The Rise of
right?
Skywalker.
Yeah.
Very soon. Yep. Awesome. Well, I think that was good.
Yeah, we got a little bit of
Yeah.
everything.
Anything you wanna wrap up or a preview for the next show or anything you wanna end with?
Well, once we get a steady place where we post episodes, please feel free to comment and let us know and suggest things you might want us to talk about. We're open to suggestions.
Yeah. Subscribe to a podcast at Audible Grown Podcast on our YouTube channel.
Yes.
So we'll start putting content out on there regularly.
Yes. And we're gonna try and put out episodes as consistently as we possibly can.
Yeah.
But at this point, nothing set in stone, but we'll keep you
Yeah.
up
Yep.
to date.
Yep. We're welcome to criticism. Let us know what you guys think. We're really excited to start this. I'm really excited to do this with my friend. It was his idea, so he's leading the way, and it's awesome to be next to him. And
Great to have you. with
yeah,
us.
absolutely. So that's the first episode of Audible Grown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Paul. You are Stephen Carroll.
Until next time, hopefully you won't groan audibly.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and until next time, we hope you don't audibly groan.